The following show contains views and opinions that may not be suitable for all audiences. Audience discretion is advised.
Howdy, everybody, and welcome to Thespian Talk. It's been a couple of weeks, but, things happen, and with me doing the driving and stuff, maybe going to bi-weekly, in case there's a weekend where I have to be out, over the weekend or what have you, might be a good idea. Who knows? But we didn't have one last week, which, honestly, I was actually home. I was just really out of it. But I can talk more about that later. I am your host, Gomer the Ranting Thespian, who puts out all of that information before he introduces his own damn self. And with me here is Michelle.
Hello. I just sit quietly waiting for my intro.
Yes, because that's the kind of mind frame that I'm in. Just everything is all topsy-turvy and thanks in no part to all of the political shit going around, and I've been hearing a lot. Okay, I'm actually going to start this particular one up over in England because I've been hearing more and more about Boris Johnson. And how much of just an ineffective shitheel he's been.
It's kind of glorious.
What I understand, he's prime minister, right?
Yes, he is.
Okay, that's what I was thinking, but I wanted to make sure. The prime minister very rarely loses their first vote. What is it? What is it? House of Commons?
Yeah.
Parliament.
Basically, the way it works is you've got all the people in the House of Commons, like all the voted for MPs, regardless of whether or not they are the majority or the minority, are Parliament. The government are the team that won. So everyone's Parliament, but the government are just in this case, Boris and his team minus 21 people that he decided to yeet out of there because they didn't vote with him. But yeah, usually the majority is the one that is the government, and everyone else is still the Parliament. So that's where you get the shadow ministers and stuff like that.
Okay, so he lost not only his first vote, first 2 or 3 votes too?
Three at least that I'm aware of, possibly a fourth.
Just wow. And all of this bullshit is because a whole bunch of people over there decided, well, we don't want to be a part of the European Union, and I'm presuming it's. Correct me if I'm wrong, but didn't it have its roots in not wanting to house refugees or whatever, or something along those lines?
Kind of. I mean,
part of it.
Yeah, partly there's a lot of BS going around. I believe there's an investigation of as to whether or not the referendum, or at least the campaigns surrounding the referendum, were even legal. Mm-hmm. So that's a whole thing that's going on. There was a lot of fear mongering in our popular media as well. It does seem from everything I've seen that even the politicians were surprised that they won. A lot of people were just like, why? Well, crap, now we actually have to deal with it. Because I did watch this thing, and I will do it as a mild shout out. There's 2 channels I've been watching recently. One's called TLDR, which I've mentioned before. The other one is called Different Bias. Mm-hmm. And it's a guy, he's actually a smart guy. I think he's a physics teacher or something, so not a dumb guy.
Right.
But he just likes talking about politics, and he sort of analyzes the way he says. He's not, apolitical about it. He's like, yeah, this is my bias, but this is the facts as I understand them.
Yeah.
And he does a lot of stuff about that, and I've completely forgotten my point. Something about he was basically explaining how referenda, as should be done, and how are done in other countries that have them on the regular, is you basically agree to the everything first. You work out what it is you actually want from the referendum, and then you put it to the people, so the people know exactly what they're voting for.
Yeah, that sounds like it would be a good idea.
Also, it's not supposed to be legally binding, it's just advisory. So there's that as well. And you look at the margins, I think it's I think our margin was less than the Clinton-Trump vote. It was a really tiny margin. Mm-hmm. So I was it wasn't even I think it may be an 8%, but like a percent point something or other, like as a margin, not even a full 5%. So yeah, well, I think immigration racism, like I said before a couple of weeks back or whatever it was, that immigration is a thing that needs to be looked at because we are a small island, we can only take so many people, and it is a valid concern. However, you don't just turn people away for the sake of it.
Yeah.
And we haven't got the excuse that they're brown people because, they're not. Most of them are white and they're. There's a young woman I happened to be getting the bus with last week, and she's perfectly pleasant. And I think she's Polish from her accent. I've met a few Polish people, and they've similar accents. Mm-hmm. And she's a lovely lady, very charming. She's like on her way to work as well. So yeah, as far as I know, because I wasn't as politically savvy when it was all happening. Mm-hmm. Yeah, immigration is the main thing, but there's obviously lots of other things that people thought they were voting for or against and everything. Well, for the record, if anyone's wondering, I actually did vote Remain.
Yeah, which is good because it's like I'm sitting over here. I'm like, why? That's like that would be equivalent to me slitting my own throat. Maybe not quite as extreme as that, but it would still not be a good idea.
Yeah, I mean, I think my whole family voted Remain. My best friend, Adam, he voted Leave. And there was this pitch someone posted of like some pets with their freshly minted passports. Do you understand the concept of animal passports?
I think this is the first I've heard of it.
All right. Basically, it's because obviously we've eliminated rabies and other such disease. And the short version is you get your animals checked over by whichever authority it is, mm-hmm. and they will issue what they're calling a passport, basically saying, yes, this animal is completely clean, this animal is not going to carry any communicable diseases, therefore it is free to travel. I think there might be still like a quarantine procedure, but like shorter than it would be normally.
Yeah.
So, and then it basically is these two little cats with their passports with the saddest little faces. I don't know how they got those faces. Like, and it's just the cats like, how do I tell them they can't travel now? And I showed that picture to my friends. Like,
look. Oh. Yeah. Meanwhile, over here, Trump, among all the other bullshit that my brain is still trying to get into order, he is so adamant about that border wall, even going so far as to pull it out of military budgets, which it's like, okay, I think we should have a smaller military budget in general. The only way I personally could justify a larger military budget is if the majority of it was going to the well-being of the soldiers, as in, soldiers and vets, quality of life improvements to where maybe they don't have to worry about being on food stamps or have to worry about donating blood plasma or what have you. Any of the myriad
things. That's just socialism. How dare you?
Then so be it. I don't care.
But I'm sorry. Please continue.
Yeah, it's okay. But I digress. But Trump is wanting to pull money out of pretty much everywhere just to fund this wall that he said Mexico is supposed to pay for. Even though we all like the majority of us who have been anti-Trump from the beginning knew, he's a fucking liar who lies. He's evil. He lies. Hi.
Yeah.
Oh.
The lying lie who lies.
Yes.
I can't remember that line's from, but it makes me laugh.
Yeah, just. Oh. And of course behind him is Moscow Mitch McConnell, and we call him Moscow Mitch not only because he's been coming out as more and more working with the Russians, who we're politically speaking we're not supposed to be working too closely with, considering Putin is a dickbag in and of himself, but Trump's taking money from them and potentially Russia. I mean, for all other things, Russia meddled in our elections in 2016. This is a fact. And which is why I will always say that Trump won with the help of the Russians.
Yep. I think they interfered in ours as well.
Yeah, they're Russians are wanting to take over the world, and nobody seems to care. Well, there are some people who care, but most everybody else is like, oh, they're white, who cares? It's probably why. White and conservative, And when I do refer to the Russians in this way, I do mean the Russian government, not necessarily the people. I know there are plenty of people who are anti-Putin and are like, hey, that Putin asshole needs to get the fuck out, or however they sound.
Yeah. Hashtag not all Russians.
Yeah. Basically. So, and it's the same with any blanket statement I make, like about America or about England or Germany or whatever. It's usually meant for the government. And I try to be clear about it, but in case I'm not, there you go. This has been covering my ass. Oh, so there's all of that, and then we had Hurricane Dorian come and slap up the east side of the country a little bit after squatting on the Bahamas for a couple of days as a Category 5 hurricane. Just goddamn. And now I just have to wonder what is the government response for the Bahamas? Because they're not a U.S. territory or anything, but they could use our help, and we are one of the richest nations in the country. Let's find out. Now, granted, while the hurricane was squatting there, I could understand nobody being able to get in because Category 5 hurricane. We understand. But,
big swirly death wind.
Yeah. So it's gone now. Let's get folks in there if they're not already in there. As of this recording, I do not know for sure. And I don't have it in any of my notes. So, but if they're not already doing it, need to get people in there.
Yes.
But it went and slapped upside, the Carolinas a little bit. Looked like it was going to hit part of Florida. And it's like, oh, God, please let it level Mar-a-Lago. Every other Trump property out there. Just please. But no such luck.
Dang it.
And at one point, Trump had some sort of a meeting or conference or something where he kept on saying that, among other things, he was going to go and threaten Alabama. Never mind the fact that the rest of Florida would be in the way, including where I'm sitting right now. Never mind Alabama might get hit. And when it turned out it's not, he tried to backpedal. It was like, well, he's Trump. He's a lying liar who lies. Going so far as to having this hurricane chart. And in addition to what it says there, he tried to make it out to where it was projected to go into Alabama using a Sharpie.
That was so funny. I thought about it afterwards. I was like, but it turns out, have you heard this part? Apparently, interfering with an official weather chart is considered a criminal offence. I think I can't remember if it was federal or local, but I guess it'd be federal, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
But they're saying it's a crime.
Oh wait, that's another crime on top of all the other crimes that Trump has pulled, including concentration camps, including family separation, including allowing fucking white supremacists to run rampant, and even charging that particular group of people up. He is inciting the white supremacists. Did you think we'd forgotten about all of that? Did you think? No, we haven't. Trust me, we know that children are still being separated from their families at the border and dying. Maybe not wholesale dying, but they are still dying from neglect down there. We have men and women who are just wanting to come to this country. Sanctuary laws means they can come and claim sanctuary and then get themselves situated. That's all that is supposed to be legal. But Trump and his cronies and all of his criminal friends don't want the brown people because the brown because they're fucking racist. But so they're doing everything they can to make it a white supremacist utopia, which I, as a white person, do not want. Sorry for your ears.
It's okay. I turned the volume down.
Yeah, she knew it was coming, which probably longtime listeners of the show probably realized it was coming too. I have a pattern. What can I say? So with the 2020 election coming around, we got the clown car with the Democratic clown car starting to dwindle out a little bit. Last time it was Republicans. Now it's the Democrats. That's starting to dwindle down, and I'm not registered neither as Republican nor Democrat. But I'm willing to bet. You know what? Fuck Joe Biden. We don't need him. We just do not need him. I would go for either Bernie or Elizabeth Warren. I'd
I like
probably
Tumblr, but I didn't get a vote, so.
yeah, I would probably skew more towards Warren than Bernie, but I'll vote for either one of them if they're the nominee.
Yeah.
But and that's not to say that obviously every candidate out there has their issues, has their flaws. Joe Biden, we all know let's just say he's been kind of creepy with some of the girls, from what I understand, and that's not good. I
saw something about that, but he had taken it in, like, someone had sort of whispered in his ear, and he's stopped that or like curbed it. So I mean, at least he's listening.
Yeah, which credit to Biden.
Yeah. Well, it shouldn't be doing it in the first place, but
Yeah. But you know what? If here's the thing about things like that, you do it, you're bad for doing it. Yes. What you do now, what happens to you afterwards, is how you grow and change from that. Let's take James Gunn for example. We're gonna bring that up. Back, what was it, 2009? He had all of this, ow the edge humor and everything. And then within the last year, who was it? What was it? Ben Shapiro or some right-wing alt-right nutcase?
Shapiro. I think it was someone else.
Yeah, I don't remember exactly who it was, but somebody over in that particular camp decided to dig up all of these tweets and say, "Oh, look at this," and try and get him. And he actually got fired by Disney for a little while until they were like, "Yeah, you know what? Let's bring him back," especially since the fans fucking want him. And the majority of the fans are like, and the people that would be offended by this stuff, it's like, yeah, this was 2009. He's obviously made strides to be a better person apart from this. And even he's like, yeah, that was the thing at the time. I'm not doing that anymore,
Yeah.
So, James Gunn, overall good. And that's fine. Whereas somebody like Trump, who doubles down, triples down, and lies about everything, obviously has not changed from grab him by the pussy. Or if he has, he's gone away from that particular... He's went from one bad to another at best. So he's not really improved himself, except in just being more evil, and thus, fuck Trump.
Yes.
And I use Trump as the example here, but you can that's the great thing about social media. And one of the reasons why I very rarely will delete a tweet or whatever, because I want somebody to see my progression. Because I do put some of it out there. I don't put everything out there, but I put enough of it out there. You can get an idea. Okay, at this time you believed this, and that wasn't cool, but you've grown and changed, and you've come around to this here, and that sort of thing. That's the big reason why I typically don't delete anything. And I know some people be like, well, somebody go back and pull this and this and this. I'm like, yeah, they could. But you know what? I own it. I don't pull that shit anymore. And I say constantly, I would go back and just deck my past self for some of this shit. Yeah. And believe me, there's a lot of shit my past self deserves to be decked in the face for. But, we cannot time travel. We do not have a TARDIS. We cannot go back in the past. And we can't do that. So, but yeah, and I'm trying to think. Was there any other bigger things that I've missed? Because
I don't know, but on the Biden thing, the point that he lost me, and I will admit this is like a thing I saw, so I don't know how much truth there is to it. Mm-hmm. But the quote from him saying that a National Health Service or social healthcare, whatever title it's being given this week, would be an insult to my dead son who couldn't have that. Like,
fuck off!
Fuck off!
You know what? I hope if people can survive in a non-corporeal form, as spirits or poltergeists or whatever, I hope Bo goes and just dust crops his old man.
Yeah.
Just be like, hey, don't use my name like that.
Yeah.
Fucking idiot.
So I didn't know the lad's name.
Yeah.
Man, how old was he when he?
I honestly don't know.
Oh, okay. I mean, like, was he a child or was he an adult? I
think he was an adult.
Okay.
I think, but even still, I would
Yeah.
imagine being in the spirit world, you'd learn certain things, and you'd be like, "Wait a minute, this isn't right." Even if
I'm
you
not
died as
saying
a
about-
kid, you'd be
Yeah.
like, "I don't know about this."
No, I just meant because I didn't know how old he was when he passed.
Yeah.
I mean, it's still sad either way, but
Yeah.
just. But yeah, no, I just like. I don't know if that's true or not. I like I said, I saw it once online. I didn't see any citation, but I was like, well, fuck you.
But yeah. Oh, so before we go to break, I want to bring up a story I didn't put in my file, but it was shared in the general news channel on the Thespian Talk Discord by Scolopendra, who's been pretty good about providing a few stories here and there. Obviously, we didn't get to it last week because we were recording, but that's okay. Well, actually, no, wait, it was posted on the 2nd, so even if we had been recording, it wouldn't have made it into that one, so yay.
No. Yeah.
So it's all right. But the headline reads, "No mixed or gay couples, Mississippi wedding venue owner says on video."
Ugh.
Because, of course you do. Because, of course, it's fucking Mississippi. LaCambria Welch claims her brother and his fiancée had been in contact with the owner of Boone's Camp Event Hall, making wedding arrangements for about a week, when suddenly, the owner of the Booneville, Mississippi business sent them a message. They would not be allowed to get married at the venue after all, because of the venue's beliefs. I would just like to note that the venue itself cannot have beliefs. The venue itself is not sentient. Now, it is because of the owner's beliefs, which, while still wrong, because you really shouldn't be discriminating based on what your God tells you to do, especially in a professional manner, then fuck you. Anyway, when Welch learned that her brother, who is black, would not be allowed to rent Boone's camp to marry his fiancée, who was a white woman, she says she drove to the venue herself and asked why. There, she filmed what she says is an encounter with a woman who works for Boone's camp. And the article does have the video.
Yeah.
And the woman who is believed to be the owner, Donna Russell, tells Miss Welch, first of all, we don't do gay weddings or mixed race because of our Christian race. Our Christian belief. Christian race?
Oh,
that is one hell of a slip, ma'am. Just wow. I'm gonna play armchair psychologist and guesswork a little bit here, but I'm willing to bet this is the kind of woman who equates Christianity to being white, who would look at me and assume that I am Christian even though I'm not.
Mm-hmm.
That's how this woman likely thinks.
So she doesn't subscribe to Middle Eastern Jesus, then?
No, probably not. Even though Jesus was literally born in the Middle East.
Yep.
But no, he's white as snow. It's like, no. Unless you were born to two white parents and stayed out of the sun, no.
Well, one of his parents was God, so obviously he's white, because why would he make himself anything other than white?
Well, God could be whatever the fuck he wants to be. Or she.
Yes.
Or they. As
no, why would God make himself anything less than that?
Or to take a bit from Bennett the Sage from a long, long time ago, God could have a Breno. Don't know what a Breno is, but okay. So
anyway, that one I never really got into, not because I didn't like him, but because he does anime and it's not my thing.
Yeah, well, that's okay. It's just, but this woman, wow.
Yeah.
There is a lot more in this article that we can go through, but I just wanted to bring that up because that is just, god damn it, and some of the responses in the Discord as well. One of my friends, claims, said that Scolopendra himself, I think it's he, thought that we were past all this with at least with interracial marriages, and I thought the same thing too. It's like, even in the South, even in the fucking deep South, around here, even around here, nobody would stop you. That's for sure. But you know. And of course, the stereotype was brought up. They're not even aware that women have the right to vote or read, which,
I'll have to go into the forum again. I missed all that.
Yeah, which I said, yeah, y'all ain't too wrong. I kid, of course, but
yeah,
but being a Southerner, I'm allowed to do that. Technically, everybody's allowed to do that, but
technically, I'm a Southerner as well, so
everybody, and one small thing about jokes before we go to break: anybody can make any joke they want, physically or whatever. That's fine. You wanna make a joke about, the card reader at the Wendy's sucking your soul and turning you into a politician. That's one thing. That's fine. You can make that joke. You want to make a joke you using slurs and shock humor. You could do that too. Here's the thing that you do not get out of, though, is the consequences of your joke.
Yeah.
And I think that's something a lot of people tend to not understand. Is you can say whatever you want. You can make whatever joke you want. That's fine. As long as, it's not against terms of services or whatever, or in certain cases like joking about killing the president, whoever he or she may be. You don't necessarily need a joke about that, because then the FBI will look at you and be like, hey, wait a minute,
yeah.
Things like that there. But you can make all the jokes you want. You can say the words you want, but you still have the consequences you have to deal with. You can't go and make triggered jokes without facing some sort of consequence. And if you think you have to, you're probably somebody who is not affected by a triggered joke. Just saying.
So, couple of quick points. One, remember a while back there was that lady registrar, whoever it was, who didn't issue gay marriage license same-sex couples because it's against her belief.
Oh yeah, Kim Davis, I believe her name is.
There was a great meme about that. I saw the meme before I heard the story. It was a picture of Scully saying, "Doesn't believe in aliens, still does her fucking job."
Yeah.
And as to your anyone can make a joke thing, have you ever heard of Council of Geeks?
I might have.
Yeah, he's gender fluid. He does a lot of Doctor Who stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But he very recently, and I will dig out the thing so you can put it in doobly-doo, he did a thing about who can make what joke, and obviously with his bias, it was more towards the LGBTQ plus community.
Yeah.
But I think it could, you could transfer it over to a few other things. So yeah, that if the listeners are interested, I'll make sure Gomer puts a link everywhere you can put the link. Yes. Because it is worth it. You just look up Council of Geeks, and it'll be one of his more recent videos.
Yeah.
Right. That was really interesting.
Yeah.
Genuinely, I found it quite interesting. Yeah.
Yeah. I obviously haven't seen it, but I'm anticipating, I would want to say anybody can make any joke, but here's who can make the joke without consequence, without negative.
Well, he used a couple of because he obviously has videos. He did use a couple of examples of like, oh, here's where it works, and here's like controversy where it doesn't. Like, I think he used like Mel Brooks and Monty Python as a couple of examples of like what does and doesn't work. So that was kind of interesting.
Yeah, I mean, and even this was back in the 90s, but George Carlin, he did a whole bit using pretty much every slur he could think of at the time, not for shock value or anything, but to discuss the words and the people who use them.
He may have mentioned that as well, but I know the focus was more along the more obviously geeky stuff, where I don't think George Carlin necessarily fits into geek.
Yeah, and every right winger and person like that is like, oh, George Carlin would eviscerate all of you fucking snowflakes. And I'm like, they would eviscerate the fuck out of y'all too. Y'all are more targets.
Yeah,
and Carlin was not afraid to go after to make fun of feminists and some of the things that they've done. It's the fact that the right wing makes themselves more of a target by and large.
Yeah,
he went after everybody. It just depended on who was the larger target.
Yeah,
that's how he rolled. That's why a lot of the stuff that we see still happening nowadays, Carlin was talking about. I know Leon Thomas put out a recent episode of Renegade Cut where he talked about the cult of work.
Yeah, I've just watched that today.
Yeah, and I'm sitting there thinking is like, oh god, the rich pitting all the other classes against each other so they can run off with all the fucking money. Who said that?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, George Carlin. When did he say it? The fucking 90s.
Yeah.
So with that, sorry, go ahead.
I was going to say when that episode probably aired, actually, because it was season 8, wasn't it? Season 8 Simpsons.
Yeah. Probably close to the same time he had that bit.
Yeah.
So.
Interesting.
But yeah, so with that, we are going to go ahead and take our break. When we come back, we've got some newsy news. See you then.
Yay!
Hey folks, we'll get back to the show in a moment, but first I want to tell you about Patreon. Patreon is what I use to get around all of the YouTube adpocalypse bullshit, and while I don't have a lot right now, every little bit does help. And if you like what you hear or what you see on any of my videos or podcasts, head on over there. For as little as $1 a month, you can get all of these things early before anybody else does, and you can get them completely ad-free. Yeah, I know YouTube right now is technically ad-free, but at some point, I'm probably going to get big enough to where ads will start coming in, and those can be annoying, so you want to avoid that, right? If you go ahead and go now over to patreon.com/Gomer21XX, leave $1, $5, doesn't matter how much, you can get all of these. Again, you can get them early, and you get them without ads, even when I reach the point on YouTube to where ads can be put on these videos. So it's a win-win. And you can even avoid the ads that go up on the Anchor versions that go out to all of the other websites that are out there. No ads. It's great. So that's patreon.com/Gomer21XX. Okay, so I want to mention a story. This has nothing to do with a future article we're going to talk about, but it's something that I bring up kind of in passing. At the time of this recording, I forget if it's in the first half or second half, but it's happened this week while I was out and about on the road. So I was stopped at a truck stop. They have a Wendy's, and just getting my stuff, whatever. And as I was waiting to, you know how you have to wait for the little card reader to get ready to go and all of that. Well, I was waiting for that, and the kid behind the register said, he's letting me know because. You got to make sure everybody knows. Even if you think they know, you should do it anyway, just to cover your ass, basically. And it was clear he had practiced this. So he said, make sure you wait for Wendy to be off the screen. She'll stare into your soul. And if you put the card in too early, she might take your soul by mistake. He had my attention. and he goes on. And says that it happened to one person before, and we didn't notice it until we didn't realize it until he'd been standing there for about 5 minutes, and then they got it taken care of. And later on, that dude became a politician because, according to this kid, you'd have to have no soul to be a politician. I probably butchered all the hell out of it. He probably he does it a lot better. But it's not like I can say, go check out this kid because I don't know his social media presence. I really don't. But yeah, that's just a little fun, cute thing I wanted to share with you guys. So that was a highlight of my week. So yeah, back to the show. And we are back from our break. And I realized over the break there is one story that I'm going to touch on just slightly here because to go more in depth with it, I want to have Kat here. But the big trial thing that Vic Mignogna, the Vic Le Mignon, and his cronies, blackface lawyer Ty Beard, which I wonder if he's any relation to Frank Beard. And if you get that, thank you.
It's Sunday, it's you, so I'm guessing JoJo?
Nope, it is not a JoJo reference.
Never cease.
But no, I'll explain that reference in a minute. But Ty Beard is Vic's lawyer. Vic didn't even show up to the damn thing, even though he's the one that's suing Jamie Marchi and I'm probably butchering her name. Basically, it's Rohan Kishibe, yes, that is JoJo, suing Panty and Stocking. Basically, to put it simply, all the news articles will have their legal names and everything.
Mhm.
But he didn't even show up, even though he's the one suing them. And the
Isn't that
judge...
contempt?
I'm sorry, go ahead.
Isn't that contempt?
You would think, but basically the judge has yeeted out the thing against Jamie Marchi.
Right.
Which I don't know about the other lady yet, but yeah, it's just but there is a transcript, a small transcript between the judge and Ty Beard that I do want to share here, and it'll probably be shared again later when the next time Kat's on, but I want to share it here because it's just so good. Starting with the judge. Is that all the evidence on tortious interference with existing contracts and tortious interference with prospective business? Going to Ty Beard. Yes. Those are both dismissed. Ty Beard says nothing. Am I not being clear? No, Your Honor. It's that I'm not listening. It would help if you would. Just, god damn, you're supposed to be listening, you stupid idiot. But I'll leave it there for now. I'll wait for Kat to pop on the next show, and oh god, considering she's had to deal with him, oh dear. She probably
most of my information I get from this show.
Yeah.
I hadn't even heard about it before.
Yeah. So okay. So with that, we'll go ahead and hit the news. This first one comes out of, once again, Mississippi. Because that's where the South goes to ferment, and that's where racists go to... I want to say that's where racists go to die, but that's not exactly true. That's where racists go to have a major clusterfuck, which is different from an orgy. An orgy is organized. Clusterfuck, you don't know what the hell you're putting your dick into. Just to be clear. This has been your TMI Corner. Okay, so on Friday morning, he left home as he always does, with his .40 caliber Smith & Wesson clipped to his right hip. He took his wife to the hospital for blood tests, then went to the local Walmart supercenter in Corinth, Mississippi, where he waited to see whether he and his visible firearm would still be welcome. So okay, I'm going to give you listeners about 5 seconds, or hell, just pause the podcast if you want a moment to think. Just take a guess as to what race this particular man is. Take a moment, pause if you need to, then come back. Michelle, what do you think?
Oh. Was he white, sir?
He is white. Days earlier, Walmart had become the latest big box chain to take a public stand on guns when it announced it would ask customers to stop openly carrying firearms in its 4,750 U.S. stores. The retailer said it would stop selling ammunition for military-style rifles and handguns and would push Congress to pass tighter gun control laws.
Yay!
Good start. Good start. Yeah. Wish you would start it sooner, but okay. Walmart's stand represented a major shift in the way retailers are positioning themselves in an increasingly fraught debate over who has the right to have guns and where. Walmart wasn't alone. Within hours, Kroger, the country's largest grocery chain, said it too would ask customers to refrain from openly carrying firearms at all 2,800 of its stores. CVS, Walgreens, and Wegmans made similar announcements in quick succession. In total, those retailers have more than 23,000 stores in the United States, though some of them are in places that already have such a policy against openly carrying guns. Other big chains, such as Target, Starbucks, and Chipotle, have had such policies against open carry for years. Gun control advocates and industry experts hailed it as an admission by one of the country's largest corporations that the government wasn't doing enough to stop the gun violence. Something most of us already knew to begin with, but it's good to have somebody with a bigger voice to say, hey, these fuckers are right. The sheer size and power of Walmart means this is perhaps the biggest blow to the NRA in the history of the organization, said Chris Alieri, a crisis management expert and founder of Mulberry & Astor, a public relations firm in New York. This is not some left-leaning coastal CEO sending a tweet or two. This is Walmart saying, this is how we're going to do business going forward. Take note. Although Americans took to social media to say Walmart's efforts made them feel safer about shopping at the company's stores, the NRA, the terrorist organization, and gun rights groups increasingly are encouraging members to stop shopping at retailers that have tightened their open carry policies in recent days. Freedom Movement USA, a group of constitutional conservatives calling for a Walmart boycott. Walmart boycotts don't even work when liberals try to do it. What makes you think conservatives are going to do any better? It's just not going to happen. They've had 3.5 million visitors on its Facebook pages since Tuesday, according to the group's head, Brandon Harris. The group being Freedom Movement USA. And I do have a note here. My note says, remember, these are likely the same kind of people who would whine when someone suggests a boycott of any company who advertises on places like Breitbart. Obvious double standard is in play. Because they would. They cry foul whenever somebody is like there's the takedown MRA's Twitter. That's the first one that came to mind. Oh, that's not the one I'm looking for. The one that, oh God, I know which one I'm talking about. Sleeping Giants. That's the one.
All right.
Yeah, that Twitter. They'll tweet at companies saying, "Hey, your ads are here. Just thought you would like to know," and then that company. And they give them the information, and that company makes a decision. Most of the time, that company is like, "Oh shit, we don't want this," and just pull it right off. Which, of course, all of the people, all the Ben Shapiro's and the Alex Joneses are like, "Meh," and they whine when people want to boycott Chick-fil-A. Meh. But yeah,
and yet liberals are snowflakes.
Yeah. So. To get back to this guy, Howard, 57, who calls himself a constitutionalist and a Christian, said the policy changes felt personal. No, it's not personal. He owns about 20 guns and has been openly carrying a pistol for 6 years. Most likely to compensate for something, I won't say what. His wife keeps a revolver in the middle pocket of her purse. He said he quit going to Dick's Sporting Goods last year after the company stopped selling military-style rifles. Oh no. Your support is going to shut them down. Last I checked, Dick's is still doing pretty well because they have all sorts of sporting goods and all sorts of people that don't give a shit about the guns. Just saying. Now he's prepared to boycott Walmart too if anyone there gives him trouble about his gun. This world being the way it is, we've got to protect ourselves, said Howard, who worked as a construction supervisor until he broke his back on the job 15 years ago.
That's not good.
Not good, but I don't see why that's relevant. But, I haven't had to shoot anybody yet, but you never know. I've keep a fire extinguisher in my house, even though I've never had to use it. Here's the thing, though. Fire extinguishers you can still use and put out the fire if you get to it quickly enough. You do, and even if the thing is expired, you could just go get a new one, and it's fine, and you're not likely to set off a fire extinguisher as easily as you could set off a gun. You're not going to have a thief come in and kill you with a fire extinguisher. They're going for the guns. But I digress.
Bonus! Those things are fairly solid. You could use that as a self-defense implement as well.
There you go. On Friday morning, he strolled in as he always does. The hour he spent buying groceries, he says he saw at least 7 others, mostly white men like him in their 50s and 60s. Told ya. Who also had guns visibly strapped to their hips. He chatted with a manager and bought 2.5 cases of shotgun shells. Bear in mind, it's not a military rifle thing, so that's legal.
Yeah.
So, well, I say legal, but, Walmart will do it. When Howard's experience was brought to Walmart's attention, a spokesman said Friday that the company was working to add new signs and employee training that reflect its new open carry policy in the coming months. In a statement Tuesday, Chief Executive Doug McMillan, I almost said million, who was also a gun owner, said the company will have a very non-confrontational approach to enforcing its new rules. It will treat law-abiding customers with respect. Tom Gresham, the host of Gun Talk, a nationally syndicated radio show, says he will personally stop shopping at Walmart and that many of his listeners have told him they will do the same. Gun owners of America aren't fooled, he said. Walmart has staked out its position in the culture wars, and we, the 100 million gun owners who don't commit crimes, are like, wait a minute, you just threw us under the bus. Okay, here's the thing. Walmart can sell whatever the fuck it wants.
Yep.
They don't sell porn. I wouldn't mind if they sold porn, but they don't sell it. They choose not to sell porn. They also choose not to sell things like, just taking a quick look around here, certain alcohols, certain liquors. You know, there are some Walmarts with like a liquor section or what have you, but I can't go into my my local Walmart and get a bottle of Smirnoff. You know, not Smirnoff Ice, just regular Smirnoff.
Yeah.
So just to clarify for anybody who's going to be like, oh, wait a minute, what? So, you know.
Yeah.
And that's their right to do so. As long as it is legal for it to be sold, they can sell whatever the hell they want. They have decided, we are not going to sell guns like this. And that's okay. That is perfectly fine. They could decide, hey, we're not going to sell any products from, you know, we could decide we're not going to sell video games anymore. Well, hey, GameStop's going to get more of the business. There you go. But at the same time, it's like, yeah, okay, you're upset. That's okay. You can be upset all you want. But they're not coming after your guns. It's not like Walmart is the end-all, be-all to buying a gun. There are other gun shops, just like it's not the end-all, be-all for video games. I can go literally anywhere else for a video game. You can go literally anywhere else for a gun. Yeah. You know, so you have other options. Walmart is not your only option. Now, if it was your only option, then you may have an argument, or you may not. I don't know. But
again, the way it is, leave your gun at home.
Yeah.
Or in the car.
Yeah, you could do that. Gresham, who has been carrying a concealed weapon for more than 25 years, says he hardly sees anybody openly carrying weapons near New Orleans, where he lives. I probably have seen one person open carrying this year, he said, but I know thousands of people who conceal carry every day. Walmart's new policy prohibiting open carry, he says, doesn't affect him. But the way he sees it, these companies are doing nothing other than trying to show that they're one of the cool kids. Oh, you're going with that route. Oh, okay. Okay. So because they're doing something a little bit more progressive, something that makes people safer, oh, you're just trying to be cool. But yet, you wouldn't mind if they were like, nope, this is Guns and Ammo Central. You know, it's all guns all the time. Fuck you, fuck your babies, and fuck everything else. We're selling guns. And you would be all cool with it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Hypocritical much?
Yep.
Just, goddamn. So, yeah, Walmart doing good. You know, no open carry in there. I don't have to worry about it. I mean, even my dad, like, will carry a concealed carry because, you know, whatever. He's also a city official, so.
Yeah.
But even then, it's like, he doesn't advertise it necessarily, as far as I know. He'll walk into Walmart, but he's not going to have that there. And if he's not wearing something that would conceal his gun, he ain't gonna fucking be taking it in there. You know? Because my dad's not a moron. Most of the time. No, but
also, aren't you a military brat?
Yes.
So I assume it is your father that has the military training as well, unless it is your mother, in which case, fair play.
Yeah. Most people don't. It's just, I mean, by and large, the main reason I see a lot of these gun nuts coming around and being like, you ain't gonna take my gun, is because they want something that will make them feel better about themselves, or in certain cases, give them a way that they can easily kill people they don't like, aka non-white people. You know, Is it by and large all the gun nuts? No, hashtag not all gun nuts. But those are patterns I'm seeing. Just saying. Just saying there. And how many gun owners did that guy say? Let me look up here. There was
too many.
Yeah. Well, yeah, definitely too many. I'm wanting to say there was. Where did it go? Where the hell did it go? There is 100 million. Somehow citation needed, man. That's all I got to say. Citation needed.
Yeah.
So anything else you want to add before we move on to the next story?
Was it Walmart that actually did have like the game policy that they got rid of all their violent games, but they kept their guns? Because I think when I was seeing something about that, it was definitely a major store I recognize the name of.
Yeah, sounds like it might have been that. But...
Also, you were saying about all the what you were saying, I can't remember exactly what triggered it, but again, talking about Leon Thomas, who, let's face it, is a genius. The outrage is about control, not breasts. And that's just the headline to the video. And it's basically about Tifa from
Final Fantasy VII, yeah.
The remake. And basically, it's a great video that I'm saying about it's not because they want to make people more equality, it's just the fact that because people are gaining a little bit more equality, other people who have all the power already, no, So again, we'll put a few videos in the links because we'll just check out Renegade Cut anyway because it is a great series.
Yes.
But that's you reminded me of that. Actually, that might be worth people having a look at as well if they don't already. I mean, I would assume that a lot of our listeners probably are aware of Renegade Cut and some other stuff already.
Yeah, and if they're not, now you are. But yes, so.
But more specifically, no, like I said, just the concept of guns just makes me nervous anyway. I mean, that's probably just my upbringing.
Yeah.
But yes, it's a step. Well done, Walmart, and anyone else who's having these policies. Mm-hmm. And I have to think, I don't know the exact numbers, but I have to think they are at least, in terms of money and power, comparable to the NRA, if not more so.
Yeah.
So that's got to be a good thing for them. So that's what you need. You need some bigger boys standing up and say, you know what, we're not trying to change policy for everyone, but this is the policy we're having for us.
Yeah, and it's just we need more.
Also,
of that.
Also boycotting is just so funny. It's like when they had the Kroger and the Nike boycotts, who were trashing and burning their stuff that they've already paid for. Yay! Way to own.
That's not how a boycott works, you idiots.
I used to love this, and I'm never using them again. And,
just God. So our next story goes over to the UK.
Hey!
A new report. Yeah, a new report from the UK seems to confirm vets' worst fears, suggesting that pet vaccination rates in the country have dropped off substantially in recent years.
Oh.
And I also want to note that the headline reads, "Oh God, people really are anti-vaxxing their pets."
Oh God, no.
The headline itself is a little misleading and clickbait, which it's on the show, so it kind of worked. But veterinarians have been desperately reminding everyone that vaccines are safe and won't give pets autism. Yes, seriously. But it wasn't entirely clear if pet owners were really shying away from vaccines. The new report comes courtesy of the People's Dispensary for Sick Animals, which claims to be the UK's leading veterinary charity.
Never heard of them.
Yeah, me neither. Since 2011, the PDSA has carried out an annual survey of pet owners in the country, dubbed the PDSA Animal Wellbeing, or PAW Report. This year's report involved just over 5,000 pet owners. Most of these were cat and or dog owners, but a few owned rabbits as well. In addition to questions about their pet's overall health, like how often they walk their dog, the owners were asked about their pet's vaccination history. In 2016, 84% said their pets had gotten their needed shots when they were young. But by 2018, that percentage had dropped down to 66%, continuing a trend seen the year previously. It had to be 66. It couldn't have been 3% higher. Come on.
Yeah.
I know they can't control that. There's no direct evidence in the survey that pet owners are buying into the propaganda spouted by the anti-vaccination movement. It doesn't seem to have asked people whether they think pet vaccines can cause autism, for instance. So that's where I realized, that headline is clickbaiting. But again, it worked. The most commonly stated reasons for not vaccinating were that it was too expensive or that their pets never interacted with other animals, both at 17%. And 10% say they simply had never gotten around to it. So it's either isolation, which not necessarily good for your pet. Not having the money, which very understandable. And then also just fucking lazy.
Yeah.
At least according to what's there. But let's move on. There's definitely some reason to think vaccine hysteria might be playing a role. For one, people didn't report going to the vet or using other pet health services any less often in 2018 than they did in previous years. It was just vaccines they were avoiding more. And some owners said they didn't think the vaccines were necessary, 16%. Wouldn't be surprised if they were part of that 17%, that pets never interacted. The authors of the PDSA report explicitly say that the myths and misinformation about human vaccines spread through social media could be affecting pet owners too. We're on Twitter. We've probably seen it.
Yeah.
Just... And of course, and the article does remind everybody, our pets do need vaccines every bit as much as we do. There are a few other things, but it's all basically the same thing. Vaccination rates are going down because either laziness, high costs, or people just otherwise gun shy about vaccinations. But from what I'm seeing here is that the whole idea that vaccines cause autism in animals doesn't seem to be a contributing factor. Which, if an animal has autism, how would you know? I mean, and I know that might sound a little harsh and a little, little off the wall, but it's like, how would you know? Because I honestly wouldn't. You can tell when a person sometimes that's not the right thing to say. A person could tell you whether or not they have it, or a doctor could. It's not as easy for that in an animal, I would assume. So, Michelle, your thoughts before I dig myself too deep into a hole here.
Okay, quick clarification. I have heard of the PDSA. I just didn't know that's what it's for. They're a pretty good charity. They help, they're one of these charities that like help people who can't afford vet fees or like various things. Like if people's animals they help people with vet fees and stuff. So yeah, it makes sense that they would be doing these kind of surveys. As that autism thing, it must be clickbait because I want to say, as far as I'm aware so far, the big anti-vax movement, like the really stupid side of it, hasn't really affected. You haven't really come over. I think there is policies where your children can't go to school unless they've had their injections, and by the way, you have to take your children to school, so you can't avoid the vaccinations and such. Mm-hmm. When there probably are some people that are looking at it a bit more and like, oh, is this a thing? Should I be concerned? In fact, I remember a few years back, a British host, Richard Hammond, did the former host of Top Gear. Mm-hmm. He actually did a whole series of things, like should I worry about, should I be concerned about, and one of them was on the MMR vaccination. Mm-hmm. And I can't remember what he came. I think they did give their girls the shots they needed. But yeah, so it is a thing that has been discussed over here, but not to the same level of like, I want medical freedom. I want that you can't do this because I've decided that you can't do this with my child. We don't have, as I'm aware, we don't have any of that. However, that being said, I'm not a parent. I'm not in any parent circles. I don't know if anything is, the closest I have is like talking to my cousins because they've got like younger children. But again, we've been raised a bit more sensibly than that. So they probably have given all. So the idea of like being anti-vax in the first place is an unusual concept in England. So to say anti-vax in pets, it probably more is finance and I didn't realize it was actually that big a deal. Yeah, okay, fair enough. Maybe I should start thinking about it more.
Yeah.
Rather than my Mr. Waffles might get autism. Like, I don't know why I called the dog Mr. Waffles, but it's funny to me. I think we may have a title.
Yeah. Mr. Waffles might have autism. I don't know if I'd go with that with a title, but
or it's just Mr. Waffles, just to say who.
There you go.
But yeah, no, the PDSA are a charity I recognise. They do good work. I've got in their charity shops and they've gotten some stuff from there. Vaccinate your dogs, vaccinate your cats, and obviously spay and neuter, all that good stuff. Yeah, no, but like I said, anti-vax isn't really a thing here, so I'm not sure. I think that is just a clickbait.
Yeah.
At least I hope it's not a thing here.
Yeah, just oof. So we'll come back over here to the Americas here.
Yay.
To Fort Lauderdale, Florida.
Hey, take a shot.
Yes, take your shots. A 28-year-old man awaiting sentencing on an attempted murder charge tossed urine on a prosecutor inside a Florida courtroom, according to police.
Oh, for the love of...
The attack happened Wednesday in Broward County Circuit Judge Susan Alspector's courtroom. Albert Navarez is now charged with battery for his attack on Broward Assistant State Attorney Andrew Newman. A Broward Sheriff's arrest report said urine went inside Newman's mouth and all over his clothing. The report didn't say what kind of container Navarez used to store the urine in the courtroom. I wouldn't be surprised if he just threw a bottle at him.
Yeah.
That because as somebody who has been on the road and has used bottles for that particular purpose, if you don't close the bottles tight enough, that will get everywhere. How do I know? Take a wild guess. Yeah. That did not smell right for a few days. Ooh. So even with fucking Febreze. Anyway, so it's probably what he used. The Miami Herald reports Navarez charged at Newman, flung the urine at him, and yelled, "He told me to do it!" He didn't say who he was referring to.
Mr. Waffles.
Yeah, apparently.
Sorry.
Mr. Waffles told him to do it. There you go. Mr. Waffles made him do it. There you go. The sentencing hearing. Yeah, now that's a title. The sentencing hearing was postponed, and Chief Assistant State Attorney Jeff Marcus said they are absolutely incensed by the incident. That is a tough. Absolutely incensed by the incident. Try saying that 5 times fast.
I was trying to say it once.
Yeah, I know, right? But just wow. Even if somebody's into water sports, I'm sure they would not want somebody just randomly tossing their piss on them in the middle of a courtroom. Just no, don't do that. Don't do that. You've already. Maybe then again, maybe this guy just also didn't have much else to lose. He was already going to prison, for attempted murder. Nothing else to lose. Why not? It gives us a story to talk about and laugh at, and all of that good stuff as well.
I just no, just don't do that. Keep it in your body or in the appropriate receptacles.
Yeah.
Unless, again, like you said, you're on the road, you have reasons to use, and that's fair enough, it's valid. But again, you take your receptacles and then put them into the main receptacle and take care of things. Just don't. Yeah,
just that's the lesson that we learn here. Don't throw your piss around. Unless
or any other bodily fluids, or any other bodily.
Unless you're protesting Donald Trump, and in which case, let your conscience be your guide.
Give a little whistle.
Yes. Speaking of bodily fluids going everywhere.
Oh no.
Oh, this one is out of Oregon.
Oh dear.
A 49-year-old man who had a falling out with a friend was sentenced Tuesday to 3 years of probation for filling a plastic toolbox with dog feces and setting it to explode when his former friend opened it. Rob Alexander Stout told a judge that he went to a wrecking yard, retrieved an old airbag, and packed it into the toolbox with dog droppings covering it. I swear I speak English. So when the window is open, it would just blow the dog crap on him, Stout said. Police say Stout set the device on the back of his former friend's Camaro on April 16th, and that when his friend fell for the trap, it exploded with such force that it sounded like an M80 going off, and the dog scat was blown out of the toolbox, according to a probable cause affidavit. The friend was not injured, though I'm sure he probably smelled horrible for days. Tuesday, when Judge Edward Jones asked Stout why he did it, Stout explained that he believed his friend was holding on to some of his tools and wasn't going to give them back. So, number one, points for creativity.
Yeah.
Something. Second point, points for being typically non-lethal, if disgusting.
Yeah.
If you've got to get back on somebody, that's a way to do it. I probably wouldn't, but that's just me.
Yep.
And 3 years probation. Okay, yeah. It's not an excessive punishment for it. It's like, because obviously you got to pay the consequences for it, but at the same time, it's just damn.
Yeah.
I had a friend in high school who once stole a Super Nintendo game of mine, and if I had the know-how and everything, maybe I could have tricked him into drinking my pee too. And if this is your first episode, you're going to have no idea what I'm talking about. Because I'm pretty sure I've told that story on the show. I'm pretty sure. But if not, I'll save it for a future episode.
Oh, goody.
Yes. Or you can actually look on this thing, because I probably did it in a Gomer on the Go episode a long damn time ago. Just check up the feed. Anyway, so before we go into our last story, what have you got to say about this?
I mean, again, Mr. Waffles strikes again. Because you got it to come from somewhere.
Well, there you go.
I had a thought, but you carried on talking, and it kind of went away again. Hang on, let me just. I just don't. Basically,
Yeah.
I approve of the use of the word scat in this context. It was correct.
Yes.
I'm glad the friend wasn't injured, or former friend. Okay, ask if someone has your tools or your things. Ask, but I mean, I have to assume that a conversation took place. Otherwise, that escalated quickly.
It might have just escalated quickly.
Yeah, I know. There was a thought bouncing on my head, and then it went away again.
Oh no!
You were talking about pranking and stuff.
Yeah, but that's okay. This last news story is not a prank. It's nothing horrible or insane. It's actually a really good feel good story. This one is out of Georgia. Recess time is now a pleasant experience for students in wheelchairs. Faculty and staff at Park Elementary celebrated the new addition of having 2 wheelchair-accessible swings, which I'll admit I never thought they exist. If I knew they existed, the data was far back in my brain. So, but still, it's a good thing. It's been a long time coming, and we haven't had wheelchair swings since I first began working here since 25 years ago, and we had some and they broke, said Amy Rexroad, a 4th grade teacher. A check of $7,400 was generously made from the Cascade Hills Church through their Love Works campaign. When church members heard the school needed a playground set accommodating students in wheelchairs, they quickly dove into action. We believe we are supposed to love God and others, so it's a way we can show the love of God to other people, and if we can meet the need, we are all about it, said Brent Purvis, Cascade Hills Church pastor. Joy and laughter were all seen on the kids' faces. The idea of having a wheelchair swing came from 5 former students who wanted to make a difference. It made me feel bad whenever we gave them the swings. Mrs. Rexroad said we can make a video to help them. Said Nick Barentine, a 5th grader. My baby sister, she never got to swing because she was in a wheelchair and she was above the playground, said Azalea Vasquez, another 5th grader. Swing sets are a blessing in disguise, giving a sense of freedom and independence to the students. They are special for a reason. God made them for that reason, so they should be able to play with everyone else, even though they have a really special purpose, said Karen Cargill, another 5th grader. Which, that's so sweet. And you know what? To Cascade Hills Church, Christianity, you are doing it right.
Yeah.
This is what you should be doing. Yeah. You have the means, you see a need, you fulfill that need. That's what you should be doing. You should be the example being followed by all of these rich motherfuckers.
Yeah.
It's like, this is good. I approve of this. I am all for it.
Yeah. I am. I think it's good and well done, but I do tend to get a bit of a twitch whenever I say, well, God said this and God said that, and this is God's children. Like,
yeah. But considering it's coming from a church, I'm letting that slide, especially since they're using it as a justification to do good. I am not going to damn them for this.
No, in this case, it is my issue.
Yeah.
I can admit that, but it's like, okay, let me just, without sort of taking away the whole of the story, it's when you see those rescue programs, and like people saying, "Oh, God was with them," and that God was with me. No, the people who risked their lives to help you were the ones that were with you, and maybe the rescuers have a faith, and they sort of, maybe they take a quick prayer before they go onto a mission, and again, that's fair enough. It's like, but at the end of the day, it was people that got you out of the situation.
Yeah.
But that being said, I'm happy for the kids. They've got the special swings. I'm glad that it's inclusive. I don't mind that the money came from a church because, like you said, it is the church doing something right. As long as there's no like proselytizing or anything attached to it, like any catches like that.
Yeah.
Then yeah, I'm all happy for it. I'm all happy for it. Like I said, in this instance, it is my biases that are like saying, like I twitch when I hear, well, God helps us and God was with us. Like, yeah, but like the other people who donated money were also with you.
Yeah.
The actual humans that were involved in the situation were with you.
Yeah, which I just to be clear and clarify, it doesn't seem like that the pastor is giving the credit to God, saying that God provided this or whatever. It's basically saying, yeah, because of our love for God, we are doing this, not only to help people, and helping other people also pleases God. So
I think there was a line like the disabled children are like have a special purpose in God's plan. That seemed to be implied there. That kind of like, oh really? Maybe they're just kids who. My nephew's he's physically disabled. I think I mentioned it before. He's fine. He can walk around, but sometimes he gets tired and he needs a chair. And it's like, doesn't mean it just means he's who he is. He's still him. He's still his wonderful self.
Yeah.
It's not part of any plan. It's just happened.
Yeah.
And my sister and her husband got the diagnosis. They worked out what they needed to do. They probably had a bit of a cry about it because he was born that way, and then they got on with it.
Yeah, and even that I'm letting slide because it's a kid.
Yeah, yeah,
it's a kid.
Yeah, at that point, it was a child saying that.
But with that, with that, I think that is going to be it. Oh,
I will clarify saying that if you are a Christian or a person of faith that isn't one on the extreme ends, or you just want to go out and do good. I know people who do identify as Christian and they are good people, so I'm not having like you. Like I said, it's my bias, and you're wonderful people. Like whatever faith you have, power to you. It's me.
Yeah, and that's perfectly fine. So with that, we're gonna get out of here and all of that good stuff. Hopefully we'll have a full roster next time. I should start seeing about arranging having guests on again. I'm honestly, I've been a little gun shy.
Yeah.
Because there are specific people I want to have on, but again, just gun shy. Even though some of them are actual friends of mine. Oops. But that's okay.
I'm maybe thinking about Saturdays as well, because Erin tends to work Sundays all the time now, so maybe go Saturdays.
Yeah. That who knows? We may work with that. That may not. Yeah. That may not make a difference in terms of when this goes up, but But things coming and changing and everything. So with that, Michelle, where could we find you on the internet?
You can find me on Twitter at Phoenix11, PHEONIX11, and the same address for YouTube, where I recently have a couple of unboxing videos up. Last month I got a hammer, this month I got an axe. What's all that about? Yeah, go check it out and see for yourself. And apologies, there was no film review. My friend's mum wanted some decorating done, which is why we didn't get to Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, which is a shame. But yeah, unboxings, they're fun. Go check them out.
Sweet. And if you wanted to find me on the social medias, you can find me on the Twitters, the Tumblrs, the YouTubes, the Instagrams, even though I haven't been using my Instagram much lately, at Gomer21XX. You can find this show at Thestalk Show on Twitter. You can find my own Facebook page at Gomer the Ranting Thespian. And we also, I believe this show also has a subreddit, r/thespiantalk, which I keep forgetting about.
Wow.
Yeah, so we have that there. And of course, there's the Discord. That link should be in the doobly-doo. If you click it, and if it doesn't let you in, let me know. I'll make sure to get you a fresh one. It should still work. It better still work. If not, then I'm going to be really upset with it. And of course, let's see. What else is there to put out there? I feel like I've got so much out there. If you like the show and you want to support it, there's several ways you could do it. You could like, subscribe, share, etc., etc., etc. Yeah, I know, so YouTuber sounding, but it's true. Well, and considering we do have a version up on YouTube, spreading the word around does help a lot. What also helps is just direct monetary support, because while, yes, I do have this another driving job, and it's paying okay, it can meet my needs. I would rather do this for a living. I would rather spend all my time working on things like this, working on videos, maybe other podcasts. But I can't do that without you guys' help. So if you want to help support more monetarily, there are two ways you could do that. Currently 2 ways you could do that. I'm going to look into other ways for like one-time deals or whatever. There's also the Anchor support, which if you go to the Anchor page for this feed under RTG Podcast Network, which is where I'm going to also put future episodes of other podcasts that I may pull up or restart or what have you. You could do it there. And of course, if you listen through like the audio versions or whatever, that also helps a little bit as well, because, well, Anchor works, the ad bit, if you're not a patron of mine, the ad bit explains it all already. Speaking of patron, I am on Patreon, patreon.com/Gomer21XX. Money so far will be going to making sure all of this can go up and then and up and up and up and basically help me make this my job. That's what I really want. Just help make this my job. And if you like the artwork that comes with this, you can check out the very talented Becky Hopkins, who I love dearly, and whose birthday is the Friday after this comes out. So go wish her a happy birthday over at BeckyHop13 on Twitter. Tell her I sent you, and she will probably blush, and she will probably text me with a lots of love stuff. But you can also find her stuff at becky-hopkins.com, or you can also contact her for commissions at beckyhopkinsdesign@gmail.com. All of the stuff you can be found in the doobly-doo, and including Kat's information, Erin's information, everything there should be in the doobly-doo. But yeah, that is going to be it. I have rambled on about my own stuff long enough, and about everything else long enough. So yeah, hopefully could be 2 weeks, could be 1 week. We'll have to see. But until next time, this is Gomer, the Ranting Thespian, with Michelle, signing off.